to Boston. Lives in a world she's lost in, victim of compromise. He's staring at her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. He's in love with the statue in a marble block. He's in love with the girl that time forgot. She just shuts her ears. She's falling too far with salt in her skies. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. She's falling too far. She's falling too far. She just shuts her ears. She's falling too far with something in her skies. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. 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 Wasted moments, full of potential at torments. An angel in disguise, but he can see her Aberdeen heart, London eyes, Glasgow bones. She's a whistle in the catacombs, a paradox. She's falling too far. She's falling too far. She just shuts her ears. She's falling too far with something in her skies. Won't let it taste her tears. She's falling too far. The girl that time forgot. Say the words, even if it hurts. We've been pretending nothing's wrong for far too long. Say it out loud, like you really mean it now. 'Cause this is the last time. We're at the crossroads, and I can't let it go. I try to make you stay, but
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I was hoping that it wasn't just going to cut the music out, and it works. It works, unlike previous weeks. I got there in the end. And behind me, I've kind of rearranged things. So now in the background is my Sonic Trilogy cartridges for the Mega Drive, which I'll talk a little bit about later. The one thing I didn't set up, though, that I was always meaning to do is get. And I love it. I love that you like the tunes. Yeah, tunes are good. Tunes are good. One of the things I wanted to get done this week was to revamp all the on-screen assets, and I just haven't had a chance. I even had it on my today's to-do list, which I'd love to sort of flash in front of the camera really quickly, but it's I did get. I've been the most productive I think I've ever been in years, because I finish work, between 5 and 7, depending on how I'm feeling, and normally it'd be like, oh, now there's less hours to do what I want to do, but actually I feel the pressure and I just make the most of it. It doesn't mean I'm not as gaming as much as I'd like to be. I've been enjoying Horizon Forbidden West, absolutely stunning game. But yeah, if I'm not able to get stuff done, then at least I can get other things in the meantime. So what I was talking about was getting a poll up and running from the get-go. Because normally I talk about this halfway through, but I'm like, we should just have this throughout the entire show. So the topic for today is about writing. I'm going to go through some simple tips to improve it. And writing doesn't necessarily mean just, sitting there with a pen and paper. It could be when you're doing social posts, messaging friends. Lots of little tricks to, make your communicative efforts a bit more streamlined. I've been learning a lot, especially from my good boss, Joe. Speaking of which, I am wearing, I'll show you in a moment when I stand up. Right, where did I put that poll? Did I actually get rid of it? Oh no, here it is. It's because I didn't have poll written at the beginning of it. So this is why notes are always really, really important to make them clear. It's why you should write well. But yeah, how's everyone's week been? Is everyone doing good? I'm absolutely buzzing. If you're new to the show, say hi in the chat. But as always, if you just want to sit back and relax or have this on in the background, that is totally fine as well. This is all just a chilled weekly show, same time every week, where we just deal with issues, sometimes really serious. We spoke about Ukraine in the last couple of weeks. Last week we did talk about cybersecurity, just because I'd started the new job. And this week we're doing writing, because I know a few of the chatters requested that. So the poll is, when do you write? Only when I have to. I love to write when I can, or writing, yuck. So yeah, I'll put that there. Ask the community. There we go. We'll keep that running. Here is the high point. Oh, not great. I'm sorry to hear that. Peaks and troughs, ups and downs. I mean, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but that is, things are all comparative, so things will naturally get better. But it can be quite difficult when you're going through the moment. So yeah, a bit of housekeeping. If you are tuned in live, this I do every Wednesday at this time. So add it to your calendar. Why not? It's a great chilled out atmosphere. Here are my links. My website, although I need to update it a bit now. Patreon, which I do need to update again. So these two I need to really update. But what has been updated a lot is my Instagram. I've been very, very active on it, especially because we are approaching my band's tour, which is in 2 days' time. We're playing our hometown show 2 nights from now. I can't wait. Honestly. Luke, the other vocalist in the band who was not on tour with us in November, he's back. And we had a practice at the start of the week, Sunday. We had an 8-hour band practice from 10 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon. And it is amazing when you do practice, because vocally, you don't want to ruin your voice. But we went through the set about 4 times, at least 4 times. And the set's about 45 minutes. So to do that again and again, even in the same day, it can be quite the challenge. But it is, sounding amazing. We've got so much confidence. I can speak for myself. I'm feeling really confident about it. I always get nervous before a live show, I always worry about getting unwell. And me worrying about getting unwell usually makes me unwell. So this time I'm just like, you know what? I'm leaning into it. This is going to be awesome. And it's quite spaced out, but I'll talk a bit more about that later in the show. But yeah, thank you, Callie. Oh, listening to rain. I have that as one of my things when I go to bed. I use the Sleep Cycle app, and listening to the sound of rain is so soothing. I also have an app that makes the lights, because I have smart lights like these, but I have smart lights in my bedroom, which there's an app that makes thunder and lightning, so you hear the sound of rain, and actually there's flashes in the lamp that go with it. It's pretty cool. Hey Charlotte, it's good to see you here. Yeah, it's good to have you back. Always good to have people back. And if people need to break away and can't make it, that happens, and that's totally fine as well. I have been told that I have a soothing voice, and I always used to wonder in the good old days, is that people saying I have a face for radio, or is it people saying that, your voice sends me to sleep because you're so boring? Yeah. No, I really appreciate that. 8 hours is pretty full on. But we aren't playing back to back. We literally, take time setting up. We have conversations in between. And also it's more about having the peace of mind of just knowing, you know what, right now, we're gonna just, play as much as we can. And to be honest, we did finish an hour or two earlier. So yeah. I know I wasn't digging for compliments, but I do appreciate that. Let's bring off this lower third thing, because as much as I like it, it does get in the way. So I have this CyberSafe hoodie. So the company I work for, they give you a gift card when you first join to spend on the store. Obviously, I think they assume that you're going to spend a bit more, and I did. So they did get some money out of me. But these CyberSafe hoodies, the feeling of a new hoodie. And this is actually quite a thin hoodie. I normally have quite thick ones, but this is really thin. And it is super comfy, and it's a zip one. Really, really like it. So, there was some interesting colours. There was orange, pink. There were pale kinds. They were really, really nice. But, speaking of merchandise, do you know what? Let me just throw this up on screen now. Let me find it. Thank you very much. I spoke quite extent about my new job last week. I mean, I can talk a bit more about it now, but I'm just very, very lucky to be in a team with such incredible people. I've not had a chance to chat to everyone yet, but there's a real sense of collective effort. We're all helping support each other, and I haven't felt like that in a work environment for many, many years. So Josh, our drummer, was out enjoying the sun, and look at this shirt. Can I zoom in anymore? No, I can't. Won't let me zoom in anymore. But that is the Unity in Time shirt from our album. I love it. I love it so much that I'm buying one, because that's right, in the band, if you want our merchandise, we have to buy it ourselves. It's really, really great. And then we also, which we had on tour, although we sold them out very, very quickly, we had these hats with voices. Is it going to let me zoom in? Oh, got it, threw it away. That was annoying. Let me try again. Is it going to let me? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Schemata Theory voices. Yeah. Really, really cool. So all that's available on our store, schematatheory.com/store. And you know what? I'm just going in different orders here. Let's get this stuff, talk about this stuff a bit. My band is going on. Is it going to let me zoom out? There we go. We're going on tour. And here are the dates. So some of them, the ones on the right, are later in the year. In 2 days' time, if any of you are in the Reading, Berkshire area, come down to Bracknell, the Acoustic Couch. We're then going to be in Bristol on Sunday. And then the following Friday, we're going to be in Workington again, which is a hell of a drive. We're actually going to be in Manchester on the 24th, not to play, but to see another local band called The City Is Ours that are touring. And then we're going to be playing in Nottingham. I used to know a dude who'd spent stupid money on personalised guitar picks that he'd throw out into the crowd. The struggle is real. Dude, it's all about the little things, and we do have lots and lots of that. And actually, tonight I did... Have I deleted it already? I have. I did some posts about the gigs that we're playing. But something else I could show you guys is I have been... Look at all these. So good. I've been super active on our band's Instagram just because we're ramping up towards this tour. And I've created, for those of you that haven't heard our album yet, we have a track on it called Vantage Point. And Vantage Point is, it was an instrumental piece, but then I went away and I brought together quotes. Yeah, it is a very long drive to Workington, yeah, which is why it's good that we're stopping off in Manchester on the way up. But it's going to be great. Yeah, so Vantage Point was an instrumental piece that Hugh had composed, and then I went away and I got quotes from lots of speakers that I adore. And it's I think it's like a 3-minute journey, and we do actually play it live, segments of it. So every day this week I've been, or most of the days I've been putting up. It's not going to let me show it on Instagram, is it? No. For some reason, when I want to bring up Instagram on screen, it's making me have to log in. And for some reason, I can't log into my account on my computer. I don't know why. But we've been posting lyrics to our songs. So if you're on Instagram, follow us at Schemata Theory. Just because obviously in the lead up, we've had a lot of people asking, because people like to sing along to this stuff. For Vantage Point, which is an instrumental with quotes, I thought, well, I'm not really going to put the transcript up for these quotes, but I made a little video, which I'm going to play now, actually. The band haven't seen this, by the way. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, the band haven't seen this. I was going to post it tonight. It'll probably go up tomorrow now. But do you guys want to see it? Yeah, you're yet to see Luke. So, are you coming to any of these shows, Samantha? Oh man, it's going to be so good. Exclusive premiere. Yeah, why not? Why not? So you can let me know, and if it's rubbish, then I can go away and edit it again. So I actually went back and looked up the quotes and then found videos of them. Except for Cole Sagan, there's no video of him actually saying it. There's just like overlays. So I found him talking about it and then sort of slowed it down to make it a bit more artistic. But yeah, I did this minute segment for Instagram Reels. Yeah, I might put it up tonight. Although tonight I need to put up the lyrics for Mirrors, which is going to probably be a 2-parter because you only get 10 slides on Instagram, and Mirrors is an 7-8 minute song. Took forever to write. But yeah, this is Vantage Point.
Vantage Point. The Earth might not seem of any particular interest. There is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves.
The person you are is like nobody else on the planet. Nobody has the exact memory that you have.
Now, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much.
What is now known is not all what you are capable of knowing. You are your own stories.
You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here. And the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear.
So yeah, you know, I to be honest, I would love to make that video for the full thing, and maybe I will do some point, because I really do love Vantage Point. It's interestingly enough one of the more divisive songs in reviews. Some people absolutely love it and think it's one of their favourites, and others think it's cliche because we have so many tracks where people put, you know, samples of speeches over. To which my response is, yeah, we have a lot of songs that have guitar solos and stuff like that. So yeah, um, it's it's a song I love and it works well. And yeah, and speaking of Jim Carrey, he tweeted today because there's now a Dr. Robotnik because he's in the new Sonic movie. And there's a new emoji on Twitter that he's done. But actually, what I did have queued up was I wanted to talk about the new Sonic 2 movie poster. Look at this. Have you seen this? And welcome to the next level. My opinion is when the original Sonic was done, there's always going to be a lot of pressure from the studio of like it needs to be X, Y, and Z. And there was clearly a lot of love within the script. And when there was the backlash about how Sonic looked in the trailers, they went back and redesigned him. And the movie I enjoyed. It was definitely not perfect, but it was pretty solid. And my feeling is, because of how well it did, I think the studio said, do what you got to do. And I think this movie is going to be even better because I think it's really going to lean into it. But what is amazing about this poster is, for those that aren't old enough to remember, 30 years ago when Sonic 2 came out, this was the cover of the game. I mean, it is just amazing to see that tribute. I think it's incredible. Like, the nostalgia is just so good. Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. I love it. Well, Knuckles is in it, and do you notice that Knuckles is there? Can you see him where I'm putting the cursor? Knuckles is there in the reflection. Idris Elba's playing Knuckles. Yeah, it's awesome. It's really good. So I'm very excited about it. And Sonic 3 has already been commissioned. The other thing I was going to bring up before we get to today's main topic was this was actually the Toni Morrison speech that I quoted from in that Vantage Point. And I just wanted to read it because I think it's really great. I mean, I'm not going to do it justice for how she reads it, but I think it's a really good piece, very timely. So, be your own story. Go out and save the world. That is to suggest to you that with energy and right thinking, you can certainly improve. Certainly, you might even rescue it. Now, that's a heavy burden to be placed on one generation by a member of another generation, because it's a responsibility we ought to share. Not save the world, but simply to love it, meaning don't hurt it. Of course, you're general, but you're also specific. A citizen and a person. And the person you are is like nobody else on the planet. Nobody has the exact memory that you have. What is now known is not all what you are capable of knowing. You are your own stories, and therefore free to imagine and experience what it means to be human without wealth. What it feels like to be human without domination over others. Without reckless arrogance. Without fear of others unlike you. Without rotating, rehearsing, and reinventing the hatreds you learned in the sandbox. And although you don't have complete control over the narrative, no author does, I can tell you, you can nevertheless create it. Although you will never fully know or successfully manipulate the characters who surface or disrupt your plot, you can respect the ones who do by paying them close attention and doing them justice. The theme you choose may change or simply elude you, but being your own story means you can always choose the tone. It also means that you can invent the language to say who you are and what you mean. But then, I am a teller of stories and therefore an optimist, a believer in the ethical bend of the human heart, a believer in the mind's disgust with fraud and its appetite for truth, a believer in the ferocity of beauty. So, from my point of view, which is that of a storyteller, I see your life as already artful, waiting, just waiting and ready for you to make art. From the late Toni Morrison. Absolutely love it, love it, love it. Yeah, it was really, really good. So today's topic is all about writing and simple ways to improve it. So as I mentioned, my boss Joe, he actually wrote a lot of the product for CyberSafe, teaching people how to understand the platform, but know the importance of being secure online. And he's a very articulate and thoughtful, and he's a fantastic writer. And so in the lead up to my job, I asked if there is any pre-reading I could do, and he sent me a lot of articles in which it was about, you know, better ways to write. And as I started reading it, I thought, you know, this would be a great topic. And I know that Callie had mentioned in the chat before that you'd like to do a session on creative writing, and so I think this is a nice way of bringing it together. So yeah, I've got a list in front of me, but it's not just about me. Something I say all the time is no one has a monopoly on good ideas, and so feel free to share in the chat. But as I mentioned in the description of this live show, writing is not just about getting a pen and paper. It could be about, you know, typing on your phone or your computer or a tablet. It could also be about messaging someone or sending an email. You know, writing is a big part of how we communicate with people, especially with the internet, where most is done via text. But even writing and understanding the way that you construct sentences in language can improve the way that you speak. The amount of fluff that are in the sentences that I speak is huge. There are lots of words that I use that I don't need to. Many of us start a sentence with a word like so. And we don't need to say that. We can just get straight into it. And getting straight into it is actually relates to another kind of pet peeve I have. It's a very common thing you see on YouTube where people start off saying, hey everyone, this is what we're going to talk about today, which is important. You need to set it up. And then they always go, so let's just jump straight into this. And it's like, why do you have to say that? Just go into it. So, yeah. Samantha says, how many times have you stared at a blank page and struggled to get the words out? I read a really interesting article earlier, and actually it's one of the ones that I've got here, which was going to be one of the last points I made. But do you know what? Let's bring it up first. It talks about how, you know, write to express, not to impress. And I do think that for the most part is, you know, writing is seen very much as an academic thing. But, you know, writing and language is actually just about what's the easiest way to communicate. And something I am teaching myself again and again is how do I say what I want to say, but in less words. And so this article here, Right to Express, Not to Impress by Ali Messe. Keep your writing as simple as possible. Let the real writers blow our minds. Meanwhile, we'll try and get our message across as clearly as possible. And I like some of these things, these tips he gives, because one of them is turn prepositional phrases into adjectives. So they often start with in or of, describes the noun before it, trying to turn it into one word adjective. So this is a great example. So in a sentence, people might write CEOs in the tech sector. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, but it could actually be just 2 words. Tech CEOs. That's something I think about a lot. So CEOs in the tech sector could be tech CEOs. Replace adverbs with strong verbs. So instead of the child cried loudly, it's the child screamed. It's the same with, like, you know, when people say the word very, and in another article we're going to look at, actually, people use very a lot, and you don't need to. Avoid the passive voice. This is one that I'm still learning. I do it when I check my work, but I need to know this is the first thing I go to. So while the passive voice adds words to sentences, it also distances readers from what's happening. Use the active voice whenever you can for a crisper, more concise writing. So instead of I was given a raise by my boss, it was my boss gave me a raise. So that goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 words to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it's not just about losing words, it's about the concision in which you write. I'm happy to put this in the chat, by the way, for anyone. Overuse of interesting, yeah. Because I often say, and it's a big part of marketing, things should be implied, not told. Like, customers should know. So when I worked at The Guardian, they were saying, we're fit, our journalism is fearless. And I'm like, if you're saying it, I think you're doing something wrong. You need to actually... It's not to say you're not fearless. A lot of fearless journalism at The Guardian, but it's actually got to demonstrate it. I love this one. Delete that when you can. So I hope that my colleagues enjoy my presentation. This is one of the biggest mistakes I make. So I hope that my colleagues enjoy my presentation when it should be, I hope my colleagues enjoy my presentation. I use that so much. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Think twice about intensifiers. So like, here we go, very, really, and truly. So again, it's extremely cold outside. Why do you need extremely cold? There's a word for extremely cold. It's freezing outside. Yeah. That can be really, really helpful. Hey, Joanna. My high school English teacher figuratively with the passive voice out of I never use it anymore. That's really good. There's a lot of unlearning that I'm trying to do when I write. Eliminate conjunctions. So if you're using two adjectives to describe a noun, you can often cut out conjunctions and use a comma instead. So the long and crowded flight exhausted the flight attendants. The long crowded flight exhausted the flight attendants. So yeah, that's great. Part of me feels like the double use of flight there could be removed, but maybe not. Nah, that's fine. You can sometimes overanalyze. Don't start sentences with there. So there is a common thought among students that school days should be shorter. The students think school days should be shorter. These are all things that I'm thinking about right now. Swap nouns for verbs. So instead of I made a decision to exercise daily, I decided to exercise daily. And then cut wordy phrases in order to, due to the fact, on account that, a large number of, with many, the vast majority of, most. This is such a great article. Avoid adjective strings. So instead of the customers are happy and excited about today's product launch, the customers are thrilled about today's product launch. Don't use noun strings. So company vacation rollover policy to company policy on vacation rollover. Wow, we still got more. Use positive description, not negative. So the living room lacks sunlight. Should be the living room is dark. Makes it seem confident. I think it depends on this, because I think that there's an artistic thing for the lack sunlight is the focus on what is missing, whereas the room is dark is just describing it. So these are all situational for sure. I'm just looking at what the chat is. Yeah, well, this is a lot of what I've been focused on lately. Opt for common words. So yeah, using simpler words. When you think of some of the best orators, like even Donald Trump, he uses very simple words, and it cuts through. Like using small, simple words is better. Avoid definitions. My emotions got the best of me. In other words, I was angry. Couldn't just be I was angry. Get rid of currently. I'm currently in a great mood. I'm in a great mood. Yeah, currently is just like not needed. Wow, look at all these. Oh, actually, there's only 2 more. Skip relative pronouns. So the family search for houses that had 4 bedrooms. The family search for 4-bedroom houses. Yeah. And then reconsider make. Calcium makes the bone stronger. Calcium strengthens the bones. So these are just really, really, really good. Yeah, I've already linked the article in the chat, Callie, but I'm happy to link it again, and I'll put it also in the comments after this video, for sure. So yeah, this is a really, really, really good article. The next one then I'll go to, actually I'm going to skip around here, is has anyone ever used Hemingway app? Has anyone used this before? So I use this when I'm writing massive Instagram, when I'm using Instagram, when I'm doing Instagram descriptions, often because you have a word limit. This is very similar to Grammarly, but this is free. So it's called the HemingwayApp.com. So whenever you've so yeah, I've used Grammarly, and obviously Grammarly you have to pay for the full features. The thing that's worth mentioning with this before I get into it is, like actually with those lists before about, you know, lack sunlight versus dark, is there is a right time. You don't always have to be a slave to the rules. There are exceptions, and it is about using your own discretion. So when I go on this website, I just use it for, you know, a general guide. So what this does is the app highlights lengthy, complex sentences and common errors. If you see a yellow sentence, shorten or split it. So there you go. I'll just split it there. If you see a red highlight, your sentence is so dense and complicated that your readers will get lost trying to follow its meandering, splitting logic. Try editing this sentence to remove the red. You can utilize, so purple is a shorter word in place of a purple one. So I bet that's going to be used. So that's exactly what you were talking about earlier. Callie, you were mentioning utilization replaced by use. So yeah, there you go. Replace that. Adverbs and weakening phrases are helpfully shown in blue. Adverbs and weakening phrases are shown in blue. But now we've got the passive voice. So it would be adverbs and weakening phrases are in blue. Get rid of them and pick words with force. Phrases in green have been marked to show a passive voice. So, phrases in green, or marked green, show a passive voice. You can format your text with a toolbar and paste in something you've been working on. And this is really, really good. I highly recommend this. So do you know what I'm going to do? This might be a really horrible thing to do. I'm going to take a bit of Toni Morrison's amazing piece and see how it comes out. You are your own stories and therefore free to imagine and experience what it means to be human without wealth. And thus, I use the word thus a lot. What it feels like to be human without domination over others, without reckless arrogance. So I don't know if it will work with... I mean, again, it's a speech, so it is slightly different. Um, I know, right? This could so get clipped and be like, look at this guy shaming her. No, I'm just like, I'm curious to know how it works. But it does show you that even stuff that is brilliantly written will still have red and yellow and purple in it, and that's because you shouldn't become a slave to exactly what it says. It's there as a tool. So yeah, I really recommend HemingwayApp.com for when you're writing. So yeah, putting a book in there. Does everyone, when messaging text as they talk or they stick a formal standard English, like, do you prefer shorthand and slang? I mean, I don't use, I write massive texts, but I will use like emojis and stuff like that. Cool. Right, wow. Time is flying by. And by the way, if you're tuned in now, stay to the end, because speaking of words, I need everyone here to help us because we need to hit a record on this game. So, a thesaurus people use growing up. I remember the book to find out other words. Whenever I'm writing, I always look up, like, if I'm looking for expression, I will always search synonym and then use this in Google. It's just so good. Similar words. And then by clicking on them. And I love that it shows you its use over the years and stuff. Word game. It's on. It's on. So yeah, I find this a really good tool. Just type in a word, then synonym in Google. Use that a lot. I use that a lot. And then... and actually, this ties in with what I've been showing already with the Hemingway app and stuff like that. When it comes to writing, because one of you were mentioning at the beginning about how you can sometimes look at a blank page and not know where to start. I find that that's how I get a lot of procrastination when I have a lot of tasks to do. I just don't know where to start, or if I've got to write an essay or a document or a blog. What you do is you start with the first paragraph and you're thinking about everything so specifically. The best thing you can do is just like word vomit. It's kind of like lucid writing. Forget about structure. Just get all your ideas onto a page, and then you can start cutting and pasting and, moving stuff around. And so I always say that when it comes to writing, similar to the point we saw earlier about write to express, not to impress, cast your emotive net out wide and then trim it away like a hedge trimmer. And then it will start taking shape, because just getting your thoughts out onto a page is a process of thinking and can be really helpful. So yeah, I highly recommend that. So yeah, the final point here. What was that, Joanna? My biggest struggles when writing are organising my thoughts so they make sense to the reader, and remembering to write down all the things I want to say. And yeah, and that goes exactly to it. Just write everything down, because you'll be surprised what you come up with. It's like when I was doing a to-do list earlier. I had maybe 3 things in mind, and the list grew and grew. And not all of it will be relevant for today, and that's fine. You can cut it and put it somewhere. I use notes on my phone all the time. I also do it when I'm writing lyrics. Funny enough, do you know what? Do I have it? Yeah, I've got like lyric ideas. I'm just trying to see here. I had lyrics about when I was just at a time I was incredibly depressed, really dark thoughts, and I just got out my notepad and I just wrote down. Have I got it here? No, I don't. But I put it there, and I think some of that went on to become Mind Eater on our album. But a lot of the stuff I'd written on that page didn't become lines, but they came parts of the journey. I mean, this is a point that I've mentioned before, actually, before we get to this article. Does anyone write poetry? I mean, I treat lyrics as poetry. But yeah, I've mentioned this in the past, but it's the idea that most people think that, you know, language is all about communication with others. But that's only a very small percentage of it. Most of it is about how you communicate with yourself. And so the words and your vocabulary is what gives you the sort of the tools to then paint pictures. If the only paint you've got is blue, everything you paint's going to be blue. And that's very one-dimensional. If you've then learned red and yellow, you've now got 3 colours. And so for every colour you've got, that's another dimension. And it's magnitudes of scale of how much it can improve the way you're able to communicate and see and do all these things. It's the same with words. The more your the bigger you... I'm saying that as I'm using the worst vocabulary ever. The more diverse your vocabulary and more sophisticated, the better your grasp on your reality and your ability to communicate it. So I think that's really, really important. I used to write lyrics, poetry in my 20s, and later got back to it when I joined a poetry group. That's really cool. Yes, reading. Reading definitely helps. Definitely. Cool. So, last article. This is just 12 filler words to eliminate from your writing. And I won't go for it. I'll go for it very quickly, but that is the one that I use that so much. So, the beginning. In order to, or due to the fact. In the end, when all is said and done. Basically, James O'Brien and LBC, many years ago, about 10 years ago, whenever one of his callers used the word basically, he had a foghorn sound that played. And he would cut them off if they used it 2 times. Because people always come on and go, basically. And basically is a really redundant word. But it's used as a qualifier, isn't it? Just, very, really, and highly, and I love this Mark Twain quote. I love a lot of Mark Twain quotes. Substitute damn every time you're inclined to write very. Your editor will delete it and the writing will be just as it should be. Needless to say is an oxymoron, and for what it's worth, yeah, in my humble opinion, for all intents and purposes, yeah, there's a lot of words that we use that are made apparent by what follows, so you don't need to put that fully. Basically, at the end of the day, if you know what I mean, to be honest, yeah. Yeah, cool. Also, I'm just gonna load up. I did have someone on. Oh man, how do I find it? I'm just looking on my Instagram. Lady Miss Katie put, reading books across all different genres help with my writing voice. That's a really great point. Across genres, and that's it. It's not just about the volume that you read. Different genres, different writers. It expands your vocabulary because you start hearing things from all directions, and that can be really, really, really beneficial. Cool. So, with all that said, hopefully those were some nice, simple tips to consider. Go ahead and get writing. But, you know, it's not just about sitting there with a pen and paper. It just might be when you're sending an email to someone. But I definitely use that technique where I write things and then I trim them back I always read over and then realise I can cut loads out. I want to get to a point where I don't have to cut so much afterwards, because it does take time. I'd rather just that it's in my nature to write concisely to begin with. But that requires a lot of unprogramming bad habits. But I will get there. Exactly. Right. It's that time, people. 1:45 is a good time to do it, just because we always we're on this a lot longer than we expect. So, words on stream. Word game, let's go. Right. I did try and set it up earlier so it would start playing the sound. But it doesn't look like it's going to do that. Great. Okay, here we are. So for anyone that's watching and has never played this before, the way this works is we're going to be given a range of letters, and we have to find all of the 4-letter and words with 4 letters and above. And then as you get later on in the game, there are some rules that are added where there'll be a fake letter, and a fake letter means one of the letters is not to be used. So you got to work out by guessing and seeing what doesn't get chosen. If you put a word down using the correct letters and it's not accepting it, it means because you've got a fake letter in there. Eventually it will go red. But the other thing you need to know is that when you guess a correct word and you type it all in the chat on YouTube, you'll have a padlock, you'll be locked out, and you'll see a timer that goes down that we have to hit a certain score. And every time it goes past a padlock icon, it unlocks everyone, and then you can guess some more. So what you want to basically do, and I've used the word basically, is guess before every one of those padlocks. So if you have been locked out and you can't guess again, tell someone in the chat, say, hey, someone in the chat, say this, because we're all working on the same team. And with that said, I think it is time to go. Oh, wait. Did I not add? Oh, my goodness. Siri was listening to that entire thing I was saying. There was another song I downloaded, and it hasn't added it to music. No. Background music, Monster Cat Gold, Nitro Fun. Oh, cheat codes. No, it is there. And then new game. There we go. Cool. Right, we're going to do these. Are we ready, people? I'm actually not ready because I haven't got the chat open. So let me bring it up. To be honest, I've got work to do after this, but I'm probably going to go to bed. I need to rest. Here we are. I've got a few things to talk about before we end the live show, though. Oh, and by the way, let's end the poll. The poll's over. So the results are. I was asking, do you write? And what we have here is I love to write when I can, 63% of you. Only when I have to, 27%. And writing, yuck. That was only 9%. So, yeah, thanks everyone for contributing. Actually, after this, I do need to work out because I still need to burn like 200 calories, which I can do. Right, I've got the chat here. Right, let's start the music. Hope the music isn't too loud. Let's go, everybody. Put it in the chat. Oh, wait, you haven't seen it on screen. My bad. That would have been terrible. I feel like I should restart again. But no, we're good. We can get this first one, even though I've given you a bad start. See, it looks like it's frozen for me again. I don't know why it's been doing this lately. So I thought it was just a Twitch thing, but maybe it's... Let me know if it's freezing for you on screen. Oh, it's not picking up the QR code. Let me move this. That might be better. Yeah, maybe I'll have to play along on my phone because it keeps stalling when I try it. Hey, Canet, good to see you here. We did it. We did it. Cool. I'm doing it on my phone. Let's do this. Didn't even see what the record was. I think level 14 is still the record. Or maybe we beat it last time. Digest. Well done. See, this is what I love. It gets everyone out in the chat who hasn't been talking much, which is fine. If you are watching and have a YouTube account, join us in the chat. We need your help. You know what? I'm going to stand up for this. Slightly to the left. There you go. See, we've smashed this, but can we get them all? Can we get them all? God, there's a lot to guess this time, right? And also, if you look at the list of words, people, you can see it's in alphabetical, so that can sometimes be a clue. So we might need one more with a D. Actually, probably not. Because it would be after I. D-I. Dits, maybe? D-I-T-S? No, maybe not. That was good. It doesn't actually say what our top... Maybe it said it at the beginning. I think level 14 is... I don't know. I reckon we're going to beat a record today. We've got a strong team. Oh, Meteor. Yeah, I mean, I get it a bit before you. It had written it down. There is another 6 letter, though. Emote, very good. Surprised no one got tree. Okay. Remote, very good. I know, duh. It's always the ones that are right in front of you. Wow, 3 stars. Is Bermuse? Oh no. There is a fake letter. What is the fake letter? Is it B? I think B might be the fake letter. Yeah, B. Don't use B. Because like boss and that will not be allowed. Oh, we're running out of time, everybody. Ah! Uses. We're almost there. We need, what, like a couple more without B. Sumos. Oh yeah, we didn't do that plural. Wow, we did it with 1 point. Woo! That was way too close. That was way too close. Level 8. Wow, that was a struggle. That shouldn't have been a struggle. But it was. Okay, there's another fake letter. Okay, crust has a fake letter. Is it R? R is the fake letter. R is the fake letter. It has to be. We're running out. Smut. Yeah, R. Yeah. You got cuts. So it's not scrotum. You could do scrotum. Oh, well done, who got custom. Nice, nice, nice. We're going straight in, guys. We are at the end, Chris. We are indeed. Hey, Christina. You just type in the chat your guesses, and you're helping us come up with all the words we can. Oh, I thought I could see bacon then. So there's a fake letter. There's no U, so Q's not going to be used much, although Kia did it. Nail. There's no S for. Cabal. Is Cabal one? Yes, Cabal is one. Canal. Nice. What do we reckon the fake letter is? It's probably the Q. Banal. Nice. Cannibal is a great word. And the fact it's not allowed it means which one is the fake letter? Oh, no, cannibal's two ends, isn't it? Yeah, Chris won them. Unlucky. We need 3 points. We need 3 points. Oh, no. Did we not do it in time? Ah, unlucky, unlucky. So we always play this once. We always play this once at the end of the show, just so there is some kind of feeling. And if you are gutted that you missed this, make sure you get here. It's the same time every week. Only if anal was allowed. This in any other context. I mean, someone could screenshot this. But in any other context. Oh man, I would love to play this again. Do you know what? One of the weeks we'll just do an hour of playing this, like non-stop. Oh no, I was pretty terrible at that. Listen, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I am here every Wednesday. I just want to give a reminder that if you are ever on Instagram, that is where I'm most active, just here. So be sure to follow me there. Also follow my band, Schemata Theory. We go on tour in 2 days. So I'm enjoying some red wine. I had some pizza tonight because tomorrow I'm going to be healthy. And yeah, it should be really good. But as always, the show ends with your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below what you thought, and I will see you next Wednesday. Also, I've been deciding what to do on Fridays, and I tried Twitch, and Twitch went okay, but something came up, and I've got some really exciting news to announce about a new show that I'm going to be working on soon. So you'll just have to wait and see for that. And then as for my patron, I'm going to be doing a big update soon because I think I'm going to reframe it. So it's going to be not just about Quest for Empathy, but about this live show, because I've realised with it all being focused on the podcast, it's putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on me as I'm trying to get it up and running again. The podcast I just want to be able to do when I can. But this is going to be regular, and so will the Friday thing once that comes up and running. So yeah, I want to send you lots of love. Thank you everyone for tuning in. You are amazing. Have a great week, And if I don't see you on tour, I will be back next Wednesday because it will be an off day to sort of give you an update of it all. And yeah, adios till next time. Peace.
Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
Yo, before I go, because some of you are still stuck around, something I forgot to show during the live show was something I wanted to show. Where was it? I just saw this online and I thought it was really, really cool, so I thought I'd share it with you now. It was a GIF of... Where's it gone? I might make this a feature at the end of it. I'll just come back just to randomly talk about... Could just be me coming back and then like clearly not prepared what I was about to say. But no, I saw this really... I'll put it on. Oh, here it is. I call it Timeless Waters. Is a GIF going to work on this? We'll find out. Oh, here we go. Have you seen this? Check this out. You got to watch it until the end, though. At the end, it's really cool what happens. Look. Yeah, post-credit Marvel scene this is. Look at this. Now, this is a GIF that is like... It's only a few... Look, the frames. Look, I'll follow the water. That water there, and it's there again. You see one bit, how it repeats. Just there. That little dark bit there. I think this is super cool. This is really cool. I like this a lot. It's very, very chilled and cool. So yeah, I just wanted to end with that. I just thought I'd show you that. Have I got anything else to show? Oh yeah, I was unwell since November. I'm waiting for a chest X-ray. Some of you follow me on Instagram, so you would have seen this. But I went for a final blood test. Was it yesterday morning? So I'll be getting the results soon, and hopefully, it will mean I'm in the clear. I'm always worried it's going to come back. But do you know what? I'm always impressed when they take your blood. Like, I'm always nervous, and it always surprises me when you don't feel it at all. But also these fingers, because I was giving blood to something else, these are quite painful because you have to do it yourself with these lancets. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. That's the end of the show. I'm not doing the outro again. But I just want to say a huge thanks to everyone for tuning in. You're awesome. And adios till next time. Well, love, respect, empathy. And adios till next time. So, yeah, peace out.